Hello, my friends. Welcome in or welcome back. Thank you for supporting my channel and sharing your time and energy with me today. My name is Amanda, and this is a collective reading. Please remember to take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This was a message that was channeled during meditation, and the message was, are you failing? Good. It doesn't mean success isn't for you or you aren't good enough. It means you are succeeding. You are stepping into who you need to become for the success that you want. Stepping stones, one more closer than before. Stronger, confident, wiser, what a gift. Let go of the oars, and then I heard throw away the oars, which took me to that REO Speedwagon song. Trust. Whenever you question, trust. Whenever you get confused, trust. Whenever you get frustrated or rejected, trust. All is working out. So what I got from that, it's pretty clear what what the message was. If you are failing, that means you are trying. And ultimately you are succeeding because you are learning. Yes, I understand that it can be a very frustrating process of trying and failing over and over and over again. But a lot of people that have done big things or have succeeded in their dreams have failed more often than they succeeded. So failure needs to be accepted as part of success, as part of achieving that dream. It's a package deal, is what I'm hearing. So I love that this is the first card out because we're talking about perseverance, essentially, and continuing to show up for the things that you want in spite of the fact that you have not seen results yet. And personally, I have experienced the absolute crushing feeling of failing over and over and over again and seeing glimmers of hope and opportunity and failing and having things fall through and having things not work out or be exactly the opportunities or the things that I want. And so this is what it's all about. I feel that is what this message is all about, is perseverance in the face of adversity, in the face of challenge, in the face of lacking faith, and continuing to trust where you're being led, especially if it's something that you feel intuitively guided to do. You have to continue to show up, build relationships, do outreach, put in the work, build skills, educate, refine yourself in some form or fashion, learn, understand. There's so much that is involved in this process. So, and every time we fail in our efforts, that's one step closer to that success because we've learned, we can integrate. So it's almost like a don't give up message. And this card is definitely a don't give up message. This is standing up for and fighting for what you want in the face of challenge, overcoming the obstacle in having that strength within, having that purpose and that focus to move towards it. And it is a 7 of Wands card in the traditional tarot. So really having a passion for this thing that you're moving towards, having that ambition. And it's okay to not show up every day for it. If we are having a day where we are lacking hope, we are lacking faith, we feel like we want to quit, then quit temporarily. Quit for a day. Quit for a few days. Quit for a week. But always return to that thing that is calling you. And that way it will ensure that you will eventually succeed in what it is you're trying to obtain. And we have another 7. So 7s could be your life path number. 77 could be a lucky number for you. I'm curious to see what other numbers on the bottom of the deck. Should we guess? 7? Is it another 7? No, it's a 2. Okay, 772 could be something, an angel number to look up if you're interested. But this is something that requires patience and planning. So maybe there is something that you're moving towards that shouldn't just be done in a whim, kind of off the cuff. This should be something that needs to be, I'm feeling dedication, continual dedication to that singular focus, that purpose, that mission. I'm getting like an image of a straight arrow, a bow and arrow, and that arrow shooting at that target. And that may require a little planning, but also maybe some time to unfold as well, because these big dreams, these big goals, if it's worth anything, it won't come in a day or a week or a month even. Sustained success will take time, and the rewards of that success will take time, which is why patience, perseverance, persistence is required. And that might be a very frustrating message for many. I know that I'm frustrated with that message when people tell me to just be patient and just keep going. But I've already been doing that. Yes, you have. And if you're feeling a frustration, then take a step back. Just for a moment, just temporarily, to regain that strength and to focus on something else for a change. I have found that has helped anyway. There's the other 7. It's under the 2. So we have mental conflict, just to get curious what else there is here. Mental conflict, this is the 2 of Swords. So maybe there is somebody here who is in between 2 different places right now. 1 foot in the old world, 1 foot in the new. That could be opportunities as well. Maybe you're moving away from one thing and moving into the next, but there's this in-between transitionary stage that feels a little uncomfortable. Your attention and focus is in 2 different places, so how can I possibly focus on one singular thing when I'm trying to close out one chapter and move into the next? And being in that in-between. And this is the 7 of Pentacles, which is all about assessment and weeding out what is not needed and doubling down on what is working. But I think it is all about managing that energy level and doing what you need to do for this thing back here that you started and are now finishing. And then when you have the chance to move to this new thing and continue to put some efforts in there, it's not about scattering your energy too thin. It's about managing and balancing that energy as you make this transition. I'm getting Temperance energy here, so I'd be curious to see if Temperance came out. And I just wanted to share that I've got my candle back. We'll see how long it stays, but I really missed having that fire energy in my readings, so we'll see if it stays, but yeah, it just takes up a lot of room. So we'll see. All right, so let's get some cards out now to continue this message from Spirit. What would you like to share with the collective today? Page of Pentacles in reverse. What else? Dear Spirit, thank you. And one more. Okay, many more. I'm just going to take the singular one that came out. So yeah, we have 4 of Swords in the upright and the King of Pentacles in the upright. So they're, and the Emperor in the bottom, at the bottom of the deck here in reverse. So you might feel a sense that, I'm going to move these down because I don't think we'll get clarifiers. Although we might get other oracle cards, so we'll move them back. You might feel a little nervous about taking this new step because maybe you feel you don't have the skill, you don't have the time, the resources, the talent, the energy, maybe the money to invest. I just don't feel like putting in the effort at this time. Maybe there's an impatience here. I feel like up till this point you have put in a lot of work to maybe achieve something, and it really has you feeling fatigued. So it's like to think about starting this new thing and closing out this old chapter. I feel like there's a lot of heavy energy here, and not necessarily in a bad way, just a lot of mental I feel like you're using a lot of mental resources to be able to figure out how to make this transition and then gain the energy that you need to take this new seed and run with it. I think you're going to, though. After a period of rest, after a period of rejuvenation, reflection, a timeout, that could include a number of things, and it even reflects what we chatted about when we talked about these oracle cards, is that if you want to quit on this new thing for a temporary time, then do it. Nothing says you have to do it now. Nothing says you have to do it tomorrow or next week or next month. You can take a vacation from this new pursuit, hopefully, for as long as you like, but don't forget to return to it. And I think after a period of reflection, a bit of a time out, as you move through this transition, to kind of close this chapter, this previous chapter that you're moving out of, I think you're going to move ahead. Now, you won't move very quickly. Pentacle energy is a very slow energy. And you could be experiencing some delays right now in moving towards this new thing because maybe you don't have the mental capacity, the energy, the time to be able to pursue it quite yet. Because I feel like there is a chapter that is closing and that door has to close just a little bit more in order for you to have that time, energy, and the resources to be able to move forward. And I think a lot of that has to do with recovery. Recovery from maybe burnout, recovery from maybe all of the time and effort you put into this previous thing that maybe wasn't as satisfactory and maybe drained your energy unexpectedly over time. And so it is time to take a break, to not push so hard, to get into this new... I'm seeing boats. So you're moving from one boat to another. And you kind of have one foot in one boat and one foot in another boat, and they're kind of slowly pulling away from each other. So it's like there's this pressure to make moves, to take action, to hurry up and move to the new chapter. But this is a practice in patience, a practice in persevering, even though you might not be actively persevering or actively in pursuit of this thing. It can still be in your heart. It can still be a thing on your number one to-do list, but it doesn't have to be pursued at this moment. It doesn't have to be pursued quickly either. And the Emperor in reverse is a feeling of like you have failed in some way. You have lost control in some way. Like maybe you don't have the resources to achieve what it is that you want. There's almost a lack of confidence, a lack of pride or personal strength. But I'm gonna guess that it has a lot to do with your energy level. Your energy level needs to be assessed and restored at this time. I am going to get clarifiers. Just a couple, though, as a continuation of the message. Too many. Because I feel, yeah. Okay, there's your planning card, the Two of Wands. So you're on the shore, looking out into the horizon. You've got a wand that is established and firm in the ground. But you're yearning for more. You're longing for more. And I think that there is a need to assess that, where you're going, where you want to go, and how that ties into your values, your purpose, your mission. How does that feel? Travel could definitely be something there as well. Travel may inspire something, and then you have the Ace of Cups in reverse, which is an overwhelm of emotion. And having maybe an opportunity to feel differently about the situation, but not quite ready to step into that yet. And I feel that feeling, that energy level needs to be in the right place at the right time in order for you to establish something new or move towards something new in a way that feels fulfilling, in a way that feels vibrant. And the Two of Wands is also that planning energy. So you've got patience with the Pentacles, you've got planning with the Wands, the Two of Wands here. And then you also have a bit of emotional and mental overwhelm to the point where you might need to take a time out before moving forward. In order to get a different perspective on things, to feel more creative, to fill your cup up and feel more rejuvenated, more whole. And I almost wonder if your perspective needs a slight shift as well. Going back to the opening energy, I almost feel like you failed. Say that 10 times. And I don't think you have, because whatever it was that you started back whenever, and you tried your best at, and it didn't work out in the way that you thought, that is not a failure. That is a learning lesson. That is an experience. That is that stepping stone into this future success. And what I'm seeing here, the Page of Pentacles is a very immature, fresh energy, which can be a really great thing, but they're inexperienced in their skill set, in their talent, in what they've experienced in life. Whereas the Knight of Pentacles, it's a level up. So that's one step closer to that mastery, that abundance. And I think you don't see that. So there's almost a perspective shift that's happening in this space, this transition space, which is why it's so important to pause and reflect on that and to gather yourself again. With the Ace of Cups in reverse, it's like you feel drained, so it's time to now gather that back, to call your energy back, to address your feelings in a way that is heartfelt and mindful and honoring how you feel, rather than stepping into your divine masculine and pushing forward to this new thing. I feel like this is a moment of divine feminine energy, of receiving, of filling up that cup, of assessing where you want to go in the future and planning for that in a very strategic way so that you can gain that control back. And so you have the energy to persevere and be resilient in that effort. So interesting, I grabbed the wrong deck. So we will grab one from this card, we'll grab a card from this deck, and then we will grab a card from the deck that I was going to choose. Spirit, could we get a card for the collective for this reading, please? So I'm going back to the collective message of, are you failing? Good. Because when we also have that feeling of failure, it means that, it means that we are noticing that something's not working. If we failed, then we didn't do something right, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means it needs correction. And that's where many of us go wrong, is that we see our mistakes or things that don't work out as failures, when really it's not a stopping point. It's a point to assess, adjust, correct, change, and carry on. And power. Color red could be significant for you. And I feel like this is this moment, this transitionary period of going from one thing to the next is helping you find your power again. Your energetic power, your passion, your mission, even your power to persevere. Red often represents the earth, and it's also our root chakra, the color of our root chakra. So root chakra could be an energy center that you work with. And red is also fire, to reclaim your power and energy and bursting forth with intense vibrancy. And I'm reading this from the guidebook. This is the only time that I've seen this card come out up until now. I haven't read the guidebook, and we talked about messages of feeling vibrant, of getting your power back. So there's definitely a reason for this card coming out today, my friends. She asks you to challenge yourself to reclaim your true identity. She is the card of self-esteem. Not only should you give yourself recognition, but you should also give it to others who deserve it. Bring your allies along for the ride. Work tall and proud and step into the light. While red often represents anger, anger is not what we see here. Red walks without fear and love. She asks you to commit to strength, love, and spirituality. Own your strength, wear your heart on your sleeve, and do so with pride and passion. Move towards your goal with body, mind, and spirit. You have the determination to succeed. There you go. So I feel like that's a beautiful card for this reading and a wonderful message that just kind of ties a red ribbon on this whole reading and this whole message. So I'm so glad that I was instinctively called to pull that deck and didn't even know that I was pulling from the deck. And here we have this card that speaks to possible frustration and anger in this process, but understanding what it's helping you step into, what it's helping you reclaim. And so coming back to that perspective shift of regaining that power, that energy, that vibrancy again, so that you can level up, get to that next step, that next stepping stone. Now we're going to pull one card to see what advice, what energies, what earth energies can help you through this time. And then we'll pull one final oracle message to end your reading from another deck. Let's see, what does Spirit have for us? Message for the collective. What can they do to move through this energy with ease? This transition, transformation, this movement. Okay, so the card is prosperity and abundance. However, I almost feel like that's what you're moving towards, because I say that, not just because it's a nice thing to say, but because of the pentacles that are out here. You're moving towards something that has taken you a really long time to build up to do. And maybe you're changing paths, or maybe you're trying to level up with something that you're currently doing. Either way, I think that it's going to create a really strong financial foundation for you, a lot of security within your life, whether that is financial or otherwise. Anything in the three-dimensional world, there will be stability. So all the more reason to continue on with it. And when we get to the King of Pentacles, which is the mastery, this is enough money for yourself and the people in your life and the things that you want to pursue, the things that you want to contribute to. You have enough for yourself and. So I think that is part of this prosperity and abundance, is part of this King of Pentacles energy of enjoying the fruits of your labor and the rewards that your hard work has earned you. So I almost get an outcome. That is your outcome here, which is all the more reason not to stop now. Once you get past this phase, whatever this phase might be for you, I think you're on your way to creating something great that will be really rewarding for you. And the description is on page 33. So 3s are that number of expansion and growth, which is appropriate for the prosperity and abundance card. So prosperity and abundance are not exactly the same things, and they may mean something different to each person. Prosperity usually has to do with monetary success, but it can also mean the feeling of success and good fortune, which you can even have without money. Abundance means having enough of what you need, plus a little bit more. See, I told you, King of Pentacles energy. Feeling as though you have prosperity and abundance is less about how much money you have than how you view life. Again, that perspective shift, right? Remember to count your blessings instead of just the coins in your wallet. It's easy to look at life from the position of lack. There are always things we want or even need and that we don't have. But for most of us, the reality is that we are still better off than many others. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write down the things you don't have that you wish you did. On the other side, write down the things you have. No matter how large or small, write down every good thing in your life. Look at both sides of the list. Does one greatly outnumber the other? Now take a look at your want side and draw a line through anything you really don't need. It's okay to want things, but it's good to be aware that there's a difference between want and need. Now look at your lists again and I bet they will surprise you. So I think the universe is telling you that you have whatever you need and probably much of what you want, maybe. And if you're asking about a project or goal, the answer is almost certainly yes, it will be a success, but mostly it's a symbol of what you already have and a reminder to appreciate. So that might be a good practice to help you change that perspective or have a bit of a mindset shift in this moment of transition, of rejuvenation, of trying to fill your cup back up and really count your blessings, and also reflect on where it is you're going next and what it is that you are aiming to achieve. Pentacles can also be about values as well. Your belief system, your value system. So that could be something to look at. And if that goal is in alignment with all of that. 'Cause sometimes we have goals and we want to achieve things that don't necessarily align with what we believe or feel at the core of our soul. But I think if I had to guess, I think you are on the right track with that. Okay, so one more card to end the reading. And Spirit, please offer us, thank you. Yeah, a breakthrough is at hand, which to me is like you're breaking ground on something. You are having maybe a breakthrough in this moment of reflection, of movement, of pushing against the things that are challenging you and overcoming this moment of adversity. And it's hard work. You know, this person is in the fields, you know, doing whatever they're doing here. They're making a trail through this really tall grass, and I'm sweating just looking at this person, but it is that hard work. It's not the thing that you're doing, I feel, is not something that is a path that has been set out. There are no rules. There are no rule books. I feel like what you're doing is something that is unique to you, which is why it's so difficult and why you're coming up against so many walls and rejections and frustrations and not getting to where you want to go. Not because it's not meant for you, because it's never been done in this way. It's never been done by you. And it's not a path that everybody takes. So you are breaking a trail that is brand new. I feel like I'm talking to an entrepreneur, somebody with their own business, somebody who is starting a business, changing directions in their business. But I really get some great things with this, dear collective. So if you can commit to this process, and if you don't feel like committing today, put it on the back burner for the moment. Do something fun, maybe do some gratitude journaling, whatever makes you feel good, whatever refreshes your spirit. I feel like that is the focus at the moment. And then come back to things when you're feeling better. Do not let this thing defeat you, because I feel like you are on the path to success here. So this is what I have for you, dear collective. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading.